Hello there, and welcome to episode 7 of the Vanilla-ish European City Beginner's Guide. And you saw that right, I recreated that whole city in Cities Skylines 2. I said last video I want to do a train station, and that's what we're going to do today. So, this is the city ring. We can actually call it that way. Let's call it City Ring Road. And the main thoroughfare towards the station is going to be this road right here. I might even call this like Station Street. This is where people exit, walk down here, there's a post office, some mixed-use buildings, and you're pretty much already downtown with the shopping malls. And yeah, we don't have a church asset yet and like a marketplace asset, but that's basically what this was in the old video, right? So let's plop down the train station, and this somehow doesn't line up perfectly, so we're just going to do that manually. I want these signs to line up perfectly straight, like so. There we go. That looks awesome. Okay, what kind of upgrades are there? Extra platforms. We have, I think, 3 tracks. That should be enough for like our small town, for sure. What do we got? Subway? Hell no, that would be too much. Taxi stop? Yes. Station services, small shop, restaurants, and kiosks. Oh yes, these are very, very common on European stations, for sure. You know, small bakery, small multi-purpose room, that kind of stuff. Now the next question is, do we need parking? We do have some here, some here. These are like the, you know, park and ride, but I think we should add a few more, maybe to the back. I'm going to try something interesting here with station underpasses, which are super common, and I'm going to explain that later, so yeah, stick around for that. But in the meantime, let's see how we can integrate this station into the overall map. When I started that recreation, I thought, you know, this is the most fitting or most realistic map, and it's kind of similar to the one I used in Cities Skylines 1. But then, immediately after, when I already had a large chunk recreated, they released the 2 new maps. Anyways, I'm sticking with this map, and the interesting thing here is there's a highway and there's a train line here on this side of the river. That's basically the main connection. Now, what I want to do is, usually, especially with large rivers like that, you would have train lines on both sides. And here's the station, so I thought, you know, that's perfectly aligned for a track that goes parallel here. And then we can have some kind of connection towards that other side here. Oh, now that I'm thinking, I want to do old industry here. This is just a placeholder, because I had that high industrial demand, but what if we did like a train connection here? Or maybe the train depot, you know? I'm going to put the train depot here as a placeholder, because I imagine if there's old industry here and a river, they would put like a cargo rail, and then we can connect some outlying villages as well. Yeah, I think that's rather reasonable. So, what do we got? Oh, we can do a nice underpass with that main road, and then here we can do like a level crossing, I guess. Because I've seen both so many times in real life. And of course, there's an interesting rule here. Usually the road goes below the tracks, and the reason is that it is way easier for cars to have a difference in slope than it is for trains, right? So in this case, I would think down this road. Also, it's like the main thoroughfare, big one, to that intersection here. I'll really try and not be distracted and fix and fiddle around with whatever. The issue is that I haven't played City Skylines and City Skylines 2 in ages. So I'm really looking forward to just touching up the city, checking out what's going on. Ooh, that is going to be interesting. Okay, let me check that out. That works. Of course, we're going to sink this down or elevate it. I actually commute on a national highway, like a national road, one lane each direction kind of thing, every single day. And it has an overpass over a regional train line. So that's going to be cool. I kind of like that these don't run perfectly parallel. Dude, yeah, why not? Nice distance from the river in case of flooding. There's the main train line here. There's one there. Dude, yeah, that's it. Nice. This one right here from this side connects to platform 2. Well, why is that? I'm going to explain why. Because, okay, this is going to be sunken, right? So let's sever that connection. And to replicate. I'm going to redo this. No, wait, it was the other way around. You had to do the trench first, and then the train line was able to go above. And I don't want to have parking. This is a main thoroughfare. What is to the left here? That's an important area, so maybe I want to do a dedicated left turn here. I think that's rather reasonable, so let's do that. Now that we have this in vanilla, I just want to give this tip, like always consider where do people want to go, where do they want to turn, right? And I just want to line up the left turn markings nicely. So we have a left turn, perfect. Okay, now the train line should be able to go right above. Perfect, nice. And now this is going to be our split right here. We're going to have a rail bridge, and that is going to connect to the rails somewhere here. Still not sure where exactly. Or how. Let me see. Very wide, smooth curve. That is also important. Basically, if you treat rail as the same as you would highways, that makes it easier for you to consider the placement in the map. With wide angles, taking a huge amount of real estate on your map, and also the important thing to consider here is they do have the problem of really cutting through the landscape, which means that trains, same as highways, really can cut through neighborhoods. That is something that you need to consider. I just realized there's a really nice lake here that might be where a village could be located. So I really don't want to do a highway here. Dang it. Okay, let me see. So having train tracks run parallel, if it's not the main thoroughfare, is really expensive. So they'll try and split them as early as possible. So what if we already do a turn here? Also, bridges are mostly straight. There's barely any curved bridges. I'm not a pro when it comes to rail infrastructure. I just try and, you know, have it be very smooth and very long radii and that kind of stuff. But I have no idea if a rail bridge like this would exist in real life. I mean, we can do a road bridge in parallel. That's going to be kind of cool. And then basically we're just going to do a curve here. I have seen splits that are kind of like triangle shaped, but recently I've seen a lot of one side of the triangle being decommissioned, because nowadays trains can reverse whereas previously they couldn't or they wouldn't do often. So we're just going to do one curve, and then I'll use a dirt path and basically show that this is like a decommissioned curve. Is too tight. Dang, they're really taking this seriously. Interesting. Yeah, basically just do something like this. Okay, let's run it parallel, and we're going to go as close as we can. Dude, that works. Perfect. Yeah, I'm not going to fiddle around with the slopes that much. I'm just looking forward to having a node controller or move it so I can do it manually, like up and down, instead of like fiddling around with the tool, even though you can do it way more flexibly than you would have been able to in CS1. Okay, so rail yard. I want to place it here, as I said, or let's see if we find another reasonable spot. So this would have been the medieval city. There would have been a small fortification, maybe if they had a bridge in the late Middle Ages here. For example, like in Cologne, in Köln-Deutz. Right, and then that would expand and you'd have industry because you have rail and road here. Yes, and we can do an interesting switch or connection here as well. Okay, let me see if I can remove some of that. Going to cut through this residential area, and in this residential area I wanted to do apartments and stuff. And because this is just the maintenance and the cargo train route, it's going to be slow traffic, so we can do much smaller radii. And then I'm just going to go straight through that residential area. Let me see, how would we connect this up? Because this looks like a maintenance kind of platform here. So this could be just a maintenance lane or like a maintenance track. So we're going to do it that way. And this connects and cuts through the other tracks and connects to this platform right here. I'm going to drag that along like so. And this is just for parking. And then we're going to connect this like... And then here, this is going to go through like so and completely ignore this maintenance track. Whoa, I want to test something out. Do you guys think we can... Okay, this only works on roads. Okay, yeah, it's the road upgrade tools. We can't prevent left and right turns and stuff on tracks. Train tracks. Interesting. And then this runs... Does it turn, runs parallel here. Now this is a very modern industrial development that is very much focused on car infrastructure. There's not even going to be like a rail terminal here. So the rail connection is just going to go past here. This is going straight. We're going to elevate the highway. Why would it not immediately turn? Because that would be easier. How about this goes towards a mountain village somewhere here where it's a little flatter. But this was maybe like an important mining town, so we have a reason to not connect it here. First of all, that would be boring. Second of all, the connection would be like rail would never make these big detours. That's a nice barrier for that industrial area. Give it a nice limit here. I've seen that so many times in real life. If we can pull this off, this is going to look really, really nice and realistic. Because I hate straight and angular looking industrial grids. But on the other hand, I'm way too uncreative to kind of do nicer industrial areas. where do we want to go? So there is a mining city in this valley. 1% slope. Perfect. Okay, we need to follow the train a bit here. It's okay if it's on stilts and kind of elevated. That happens in real life a lot. I'm commuting daily, either by that train that runs parallel to such a mountainside, or I take the national road that is literally right next to the train tracks. They run parallel along that cliff face. Okay, let me see. Is that realistic? Kinda is, yeah. So this is the main, like, industrial thoroughfare. Dude, that is pretty cool. Yeah, I like that. Awesome. Okay, so basically the rule here is keep the elevation as level as possible, or play around with the cut and fill tool and basically just connect it to the map edge. We can mark that already, and please give me a nice name for that village. Also, we have the name for the main city in the region, which is St. Stefan am Iller, but we don't have a region name yet. So make sure to suggest something cool there as well. This time we go from here, curves up, goes to platform 2, exits. This is basically just to tell it this is like a regional rail line that goes through our map, connected like so. And we're going to do the same thing for our line here, but this one is going to be a little smaller one and just stops at platform 3. Let's see if we can allocate your trains here. So let's say this is just 2 vehicles, and the other one is going to be 3, because I think that's going to be enough for now. Oh, it's 4 anyways, because the distance is a little longer. Our rail infrastructure should be finished, and next episode we're going to tackle, because that took way longer than expected, we're going to tackle this, the main shopping street. Okay, 2 lines, 40 passengers waiting, high comfort level because of the station upgrade. We have enough employees and employee happiness is high, so efficiency is high. Okay, now one interesting thing I wanted to do was, as I said earlier, I wanted to show you something. Let's do a road that runs parallel here, and I'm going to explain why. This is where we do parking at the back of the station, like so, for a nice continuous grid. And as you can see here, this platform can be reached through a bridge, but there's often underground passageways as well. So we can take this pedestrian path, attach it here, sink it into a tunnel. Why does that not work? Oh, it does. Okay, perfect. And then go up. It says the slope is too steep because it can't do stairs. Dang it. Is there some space here? There actually is. Let me see. Here's the taxi drop-off and the main plaza. And we can add some more backside parking. And there's actually a lot of people taking the train, which I like. And there's a few waiting for taxi as well. So this is the back. There's going to be some commercial, and the city's going to expand here some more. I have an idea for that road as well. Some apartment blocks there, an underpass. What we have to do right now, however, is to add some more parking lots. I have no idea how many tiles deep they are. Some trees there. That parking's going to be significantly cheaper because we want to put people very close here. And doesn't look like much yet. But I think with a functioning underpass connecting this, and then cars having to take the long way around, we can even force some pedestrian traffic here, make this even more lively. And now let's just check out these beautiful cinematics.